She's the former U.S. Customs and Border Protection and Homeland Security official, and now the Director of Immigration and Cross-Border Policy at the Bipartisan Policy Center. Some of those legal questions there that Congressman mentioned, I particularly want to focus on one of them, which is asylum. That's a big part of this story, because you've got people presenting themselves at the border, making claims for asylum, and that's really one of the things that has been so hard to manage. What's the legal situation there? Because I've heard people say, well, actually, there's international law that means that if someone shows up at the border and claims asylum, there's basically nothing you can do about that, despite what the president may be saying. Is that correct?
Well, the United States is party to international protocols on refugees and asylum seekers. That's true. But in this case, it is U.S. law that says that an immigrant who is in the United States or who arrives in the United States, whether or not at a port of entry, has the ability to ask for asylum and apply for asylum. That is in U.S. law.
Which U.S. law, so we're really clear?
It's in the
in
the Immigration and Nationality Act. It was passed in 1980.
Very helpful. So does that mean that when the president says you're not going to be able to, if you make an asylum claim, you're going to have to stay in Mexico, is that promise consistent with that law?
Well, I would say it depends. We have to allow individuals who arrive in the United States a chance to apply for asylum. What I understand is being discussed with Mexico right now is that after they have applied, rather than being released into the United States to await the outcome of their hearing in immigration court, they would be returned to Mexico to await the outcome there. Now, there is a provision in our immigration law that permits that. It has not been used previously because it requires Mexico to agree to allow these non-Mexicans to go back to Mexico to wait there. And we have never had a prior agreement to do that.
That's really helpful. So you're saying that as long as, so if this agreement works, and as I understand it, the top members of the Mexican government, the incoming administration, are meeting today to agree this. If they agree to what President Trump is saying, then that would be lawful. Just to clarify, you're saying that.
There is a provision of law that says that someone who applies at a port of entry and is not admissible, but is appealing that in an immigration court, including an application for asylum, can be returned to contiguous territory, in this case Mexico, to await that asylum claim. As I said, it's never been done before because it would require Mexico to accept them back. Now, I can't say that whether or not this is going to be lawful. It depends a lot on what the agreement says, how it's implemented, where it's implemented, and what happens to the individuals in Mexico. There's a lot of pieces that we still don't know.
We certainly don't, but I appreciate you clearing up some of that for us tonight. Theresa, thank you very much.